Guys, we've had a handful of knives that have come in the last year that I've classified as close to perfect. And this is another one. This is that Tuya NVV4, the version 4. This thing's amazing. I absolutely love it. And we're going to take a look at it from above. So let's turn this around and take a look at it. So guys, like I said in the intro, this is another knife that has come in that is just shy of perfect. There's very little that I don't like about this knife. This is the Tuya NVV4 or version 4 or the NV4. This thing is great. I'm going to put a spec sheet up here so you guys can take a look at it, and we're going to crack into this knife. First things first, we're going to do a little quick size comparison. Your first knife's going to be another little great Wharncliffe style knife, the Sea Snake. I don't know if you guys know this. I designed this knife. This is the Artisan Sea Snake. As you can see, this is a fixed blade that's coming in pretty small. It is a good size comparison on this. This is a rather large knife. Your next knife is a knife you guys should know by now. It's the Benchmade 940, a full-sized EDC in a small package. You can see that this is a little bit, actually it's a good bit bigger than this. It's just some parallax and the shape of the blade. And your final knife for size comparison, as always, is the Chris Reese Sebenza Large 21. You can see that this is a pretty good size comparison. This is just a little bit bigger than this NV4. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way and take a good close look at this knife. So guys, this has been a dream to carry and use, and I'm not at all surprised. All of the Tuya knives I've ever handled have been awesome. The Caladan that Jim Skelton had made is done by Tuya. Their machining, their milling, everything is exquisite. This is a beautifully done S90V blade that's done in a sheep's foot configuration. Comes down to a very good edge. It's not the thinnest behind the edge, but it's also a very, very good, usable, functional blade. Lots of cutting power on this. Like this nice, straight, little bit of belly on this. Very, very light radius to that. That comes down to these beautiful titanium and carbon fiber handles. This knife is incredibly light because there is a lot of material that has been removed on this to make room for these carbon fiber inlays. They are done beautifully. Action on this, I mean, it is beautiful. The action on this is amazing. It is frictionless. It almost feels like the pivot is loose. You know how when your pivot is loose and you get that really super smooth feel? That's what you kind of get on this, and it's not loose at all. It's just that smooth. In hand, it's great to cut with. This thing is really easy to cut with. You've got that big blade. You can push down in on it. Really good handles. You've got this very, very straight spine that comes back to a point and then swells a little bit and then drops off. It feels really good in the palm of the hand. And then even though it's not really a thick knife, it's contoured all the way around, but they've added this swell here that fills your hand. So if you're going to have the knife be a little thinner, it's got to be a little broader to fill that hand. And it absolutely does. It's great, great, great in hand. No hot spots. The access to the lock bar is just about perfect in a knife like this. You've got really good access to the thumb studs because of that finger area there, and then releasing the lock is just perfect. There are no hot spots on this. They've milled this all the way around. See where it comes down? There's a point there, but it's not a sharp point. Let me zoom in on that so I can show you. A lot of knives wind up with a really sharp point there. Even though that looks like it, it's not. It's nice and rounded, and it doesn't feel sharp at all in hand. The milling on this, little micro milling on this, is amazing. And that fine milling like that gives you a better look, in my opinion, than just a blast or a stone wash. I love that really fine milled finish that's on these. There's almost no transition that you can feel on these liners, or I mean these inlays, and they just are done beautifully. That carbon fiber and copper looks amazing. You get that beautiful pearlescence on it, and then the touch of pop of color in that with the carbon, or the copper and the carbon fiber is great. This is probably one of the best Tuya knives I've ever seen. And like I said, coming in super, super light. One last thing I want to point out, the pocket clip on this is just shy of perfect in hand and in and out of pockets. This was just the right amount of tension on any pants that I was wearing. It didn't matter whether it was the reinforced pockets on a pair of 511s, a pair of jeans, pair of track pants, just absolutely amazing. Now, I have to say, like with all knives, nothing's ever perfect. So there are a couple of small things. Let's turn it around and take a look at those things after you hear from this channel sponsor, Coffee Brand Coffee. Guys, you guys know I love coffee. I even have my own personalized coffee mug. But did you know that a lot of the coffee companies out there take a lot of the money that you give them that they should be throwing back into the company to make a better product and turn it into activism dollars? Coffee Brand Coffee does not do that. They take no stance politically any direction. They take all the money that they make and try to make a better product. So if you want to support this channel and a company that I absolutely do like the fact that they don't lean either direction politically, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. There's a link down below that will save you 5% at checkout, or you can use the coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. They also have cold brew coffee, teas, and cocos, freshly ground and roasted to order. So check them out, support them, and support this channel. So very, very minor things on this. Let's start with the aesthetic things first. The radius area, I'm sorry, the rounded area here where the ball drags on it, where your detent ball goes, it forms that arc there. I don't like seeing that. I mentioned that on another knife the other day. I really don't like that. I wish that they had like rounded this up some more, and just a little bit more material here and rounding that would have completely covered that and you wouldn't see it. I don't find it attractive, especially on a knife that is so beautiful and you've got all this satin work and then you've got that little circle right there, that little circle scratch. Another thing, in and out of pocket, it's not too much of a problem, but this is still a little sharp. They've done a pretty good job rounding that off, but they could have done a little bit more to take that. It does catch a little bit on the pocket, not the pocket clip, but this does ever so slightly catch. Then we get to this. I wish this had an aperture. They could have put an aperture on it. It is, you can flick off of the reverse flick off the thumb studs, but it's in an awkward position for me. I wish that it had an aperture of some sorts. I don't know if they could have done it, but there, you know, just a small little aperture right there that you could have reverse flicked off of instead of having to put your finger so far up to get on the thumb studs. And plus I miss them sometimes. And then the last thing is absolutely just an aesthetic thing. It looks silly. It has a silly face on it. And I don't mean the knife looks silly. This lanyard hole here, and you guys know I've started noticing the faces in knives. There's its nose, there's its eyes. It just looks goofy. That is just a personal thing, a me thing. I don't like lanyard holes, so therefore I don't like the look it's giving me. So, but you know, all in all, this is an awesome, awesome knife. Most of these issues that I have with it are ones that are not going to bother anyone else. There's one other one, like the pocket clip taps a little bit. And it's not a tension issue. You can see that that pocket clip is under tension. It's touching. I have several knives that do that. That's just a small thing. But I didn't even mention it as an issue because that's not technically an issue. That's just, you know, I can hear it rattle. If that's something that bothers you, something to think about. But yeah, guys, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day after messing with this awesome, awesome knife. There you go, guys. Tuya has just knocked it out of the park with a lot of their knives. I absolutely love most of the knives that I've ever seen from them. They're always quality. They did really good work on the Caladan for Jim Skelton for that for the OEM on that. Amazing. You're just not going to go wrong with one of their knives. And David over at Tuya is one of the best dudes you're ever going to talk to. So if you happen to be going to Blade Show, make sure you stop by that table. It'll be a lot of fun. That's it on this one, guys. They'll probably see this in another video. I'm going to put this in a compilation video of some other stuff, so you get to see it again. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, but tell me why. If you want to support the channel, you know, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. Those are the best things you can do. Bunch of ways to do it financially. I have the sponsor. You saw the Coffee Brand Coffee. I also have Tempered Trail, which is a new company my friend Nathan started. He's also the guy that designed the Enigma multi-tool. So not just shoelace is going to be on that site for long. There's going to be more stuff, but you can use the coupon code CrazySharp at either one of those sponsors. It saves you 5% at checkout. That's CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S. Saves you 5%. The Coffee Brand Coffee one is built into the link. Other ways you can do it, Amazon store down below. Take that link, pin it to browser, use it for all of your Amazon shopping. I get credit for it. It supports the channel. I get a little percentage of the purchase, and it doesn't cost you anything extra at checkout. I have got the membership down there as well that is all tier-based. All the people that are members, everyone gets access to the Gilded server, which is just like Discord, and now it's a community that's worldwide with over 100 members. You can hang out there, have fun. There's knife trade, a lot of stuff. The baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered into giveaways that I do on the Gilded server. And the premium guys have access to sharpening tutorial series that's here on YouTube behind that paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.